Took me a long time to realize this. But when people say they attacked my character, I didn't realize that a character is based on feelings. For me, growing up, feelings were very fleeting. I didn't depend things on feelings. It was more like actions. What do your actions reveal? Like, are your actions in the best interest of like the collective or the person? So sometimes maybe being kind meant being honest, like telling them, don't do that or you're going to fall off. Or rather than being like, let's find a good example here. So your sister comes and says, I like this person, but I also feel really dumb around them. Okay, then don't hang out with them if they're making you feel dumb. No, I want you to tell me how they're good. No, how do you feel about them? So I've always just been like, focus on your feelings. Read your feelings. Be in touch with your feelings. But then when I'd be like, stop feeling that way. Or I'd say, why do you feel that way? That's kind of ridiculous because this is how the situation is. That person is working in your best interest. And then people would get really angry with me. And they'd be like, they'd be pretty upset that I was like attacking their character or attacking who they were. And so learning about emotions and feelings and kind of like doing a lot of this, like studying the psychological side of things, I've come to realize that our identities, our inside identities, our character, our roles that we play, our character is defined by our feelings about ourselves. So if we feel that person isn't being kind to us and then someone attacks us, it's based around our authenticity to express our feelings. So we need to express ourselves authentically, right? So I'm going to express that I'm upset over something that someone did to me, and then someone's going to be angry at me for getting upset at that person because they think that person was doing something good where I felt that person was doing something wrong. So now you're attacking my character, which is actually my sense of identity, my sense of authenticity. So your character is based off of your ability to be authentic. So your feelings about yourself. And now my feelings about myself were always based on how I made other people feel, not necessarily how I felt. But it took me a while to realize that other people base their character off of how they feel, not how other people felt. So they didn't see themselves according to how I felt, like how they made me feel by their actions and their words. And so they weren't really like thinking of like, oh, I should bring her flowers because it makes her happy, and then that makes me a good person. They were thinking more along the lines of if I just like stay in my lane and maintain my lane and do what I need to do, then I'm a good person. So they were based off how they're feeling, not how they make me feel. Now I know that it's kind of like a skill, how to think of others and how to support others. But they just assumed that I was capable and they were capable, and then that was it. So for me, I was like that overgiver. I was always constantly trying to make the people around me just happy and do everything I could to solve their problems for them. And if they didn't want to do something and it would make them miserable to do something, I'd be like, well, don't be miserable about it. You don't need to be miserable. Life's not about misery. And so I would just go do it. I didn't have a problem with doing it. I have very high energy. And then sometimes I don't have energy for like a week, and I'm okay with that. And so they'd be like, hey, you're not doing stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'll get to it in a few days. It's not that big of a deal. Because I really wasn't overwhelmed with life until someone says, life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. You're so happy all the time, and it's stupid because you just need to admit that you're struggling. The only struggle that I found was struggling to be loved, like getting people to love me. So then I struggled really. I decided that, oh my gosh, it's so hard to get people to love me. And then I just got really stressed by the idea that it was really hard to get people to love me. But until someone planted that idea in my mind, it wasn't hard. So our brains work on two different things, like how do we feel authentic, like our authenticity. If we haven't been taught, if we haven't been handed, what is the word I'm looking for here? So essentially, I've been really struggling with this thing of like cutting people off. I'm just cutting off my family because they're toxic and I'm not going to talk to them anymore. I'm setting this boundary and I'm putting myself first and I am loving myself. And I was like, it's not really loving yourself. You're just creating a fortress around your heart that says no one can get in, only these select people. And that's very isolating and lonely. What about the strangers you meet and they piss you off? Do you just not go meet strangers? Sometimes you can't control who you see at the grocery store. So what do you do about that? They're still accessing that garden. A boundary is the fence around your garden that says who gets access to the garden, but seeds blow in off the wind. So boundaries, they're not going to really do anything for you emotionally. In order to find like that joy within you that says, this is who I am, and no ifs, ands, or buts, no matter what I do, no matter how I feel, and no matter how anyone else feels about me, I know beyond a doubt that this is who I am and this is where I stand. You've got to get in touch with your nervous system, that system of anxiety that's running the messages from emotion from your body into feelings through your mind, which then it's an emotional language, and it's as old as time, from the beginning of the human race, and even among the animals and the trees, Mother Nature. It is emotion. It is the language of the universe. So when you can start speaking emotion, so if you're noticing feelings, I don't like how I'm feeling, instead of looking externally, say what is going on internally, what's going on in my head. I bump into a stranger and I walk away and I'm feeling frustrated and angry. Why? It's not because of anything that they did. It is because of a belief that I had around my 9 emotional needs that then decided that I lacked something within me. But you cannot lack, and so it feels terrible. You can't lack. The universe provides. The universe is a constant cycle of support. There is no such thing as lack. There is change. There is shift. But there is not lack. You have everything you need. If you want to say there's not enough money in this world, the universe is going to show that to you. It's going to provide all the ways, an abundance of ways in which money lacks. And if you say there's plenty of money in the world, you're going to see an abundant ways of how money exists and where it, and even how to access it. I have plenty of money in my life, and you're going to start seeing all the ways that you have plenty of money in your life. Or if you say, I am loved. There are so many good men in this world. When I say there's so many good men in this world, I hear people, they say, men are just trash these days. And I don't know where they're seeing it, because the men that I have met, and the men in my algorithm, in my Facebook, in my Instagram, online, when I'm out and about and I stop to talk to strangers, I don't see it. There is the most wonderful people in this world right now. So it is, shift your mind to like what you want to see, and the universe will bring that into your reality, because your force field is this magnet that attracts to you the abundance of everything that you need in order to support the belief or the idea or that thought that you are having, that you're saying, this is reality. And it says, okay, I'm going to support you in that. And you're going to have an abundance of that. And so instead of going into your mind, instead of going into your life and saying, I'm setting this boundary and this person can't be in my life and that person can't be in my life, set your force field, get in touch with your nervous system, tone your vagal nerve, calm your anxiety, know who you are, and no one and nothing will be able to affect your feelings or your emotions, because you won't have you will realize that they don't have the ability to. If you get triggered, you will recognize that it is something within your mind that is causing that feeling, and not actually their actions. And you'll start seeing people, you'll be like, wow, thank you so much for showing me that I had this belief within me that was not loving towards myself. And you will start loving people. You'll love to like connect with people, talk with people. You'll be excited. I'm going out today. I'm meeting strangers. This is exciting. And you come home. That was the worst experience. I was so frustrated and angry, and I'm so sad. And then you show up again the next time. You say, I am so sorry. I was quite frustrated and angry last time. I realized I held these beliefs. And now the strangers are saying, that's so interesting. You are such a wonderful person. And the conversation and the relationships build, and they become this fulfillment that's just so wonderful, because you're open and honest and authentic, and you don't blame them or shame them for how you felt. And now they're open to saying, you know what, I actually felt a lot of anxiety too. I wonder if it was something within me. And now People are looking within them instead of blaming and shaming other people in your life. And now you have connection. Because when you're blaming and shaming, you're putting up this wall and you're saying, no more, no more. And you're setting boundaries. You can't talk to me like that. Or you need to make sure that you're speaking in this language. And then you want to try and change the American language, make sure that you're using words in these specific orders, and you're controlling everyone in your life and everything in your life. And your mind is not meant to control every detail of your life. Not your conscious mind, that is. Not your 5% conscious mind where you're constantly looking at people to say, you need to talk like this because I'm feeling bad. You need to act like this because I'm feeling bad. You need to leave me alone because I'm feeling bad. Your 95% subconscious mind is supposed to work on your behalf, and it is. If you're trying to control your reality because it's making you miserable, your 95% subconscious brain, your force field, your nervous system, everything else that's going on for you inside of you is going to start pulling in all the ways that the world is frustrating, that people are toxic, that people are other people are the problem, that the problem lies externally, and it's going to hide those beliefs from you. It's going to hide that from you. And then you get stuck in this egocentric. So you get stuck in this idea that it is outside of you, and your mind starts hiding the truth from you. And the truth is that you feel unloved. And then they say, why are you feeling this way? I'm not feeling this way. It is your problem. No, these are not my feelings. This is your problem. You are doing this, and it is causing me to feel this way. And now the blame and the shame game just gets worse, and it's just a deep hole to have to dig yourself out of. I know. I went there. I was in that, and I said, what is wrong with me? I don't blame and shame others. This is not my character. I am a very positive, happy person that loves others. I had such a deep identity around, like, this is who I was as I grew up. Like, I knew who I was. I was not my feelings and my emotions. And so the fact that I was starting to identify with them and blame other people for my feelings really had me upset. But then I would go to other people for advice, and their advice was, you need to leave him. He's treating you bad. Or you need to cut that person off. They're treating you bad. It's not that person's problem. It's my problem. And people would be like, Natalie, you're just in denial. There's no such thing. It is within us. It is not without us. You don't cut someone off in order to make yourself feel better. You go within and heal the problem. You heal what's going on beneath the surface. Because all your reality, the only reality that exists is the reality that is within you. The world around you is abundance and goodness. It's so beautiful and pure, and I'm telling you, if you want to change your reality, change your outlook to an inner look. Look inside. Sit. Meditate. Meditation is so hard for a lot of people that I have been talking to recently. It seems like there's more and more people who are okay with meditation, at least in my reality. And so I'm not sure if there is still a lot of people who struggle with meditation. But if you are someone who struggles with meditation, think about it. Does your mind not want to sit and meditate because it is in the habit of hiding your truth from you? And how can you get it to reveal that to you when every single time it has brought something up, it has said, hey, we're feeling bad, you've shamed it. It is that problem. And now you've punished it for revealing something within you. And so now you just don't feel bad because you don't have anyone in your life to make you feel bad, but you feel lonely. You feel isolated. You feel depressed. You feel hopeless. You're losing desire. And what's the point of life if you don't have connection, if we don't have each other, if we don't have fun, if we don't have enjoyment? What is it? And now you're just one foot in front of the other. I just have to keep moving forward. But that's not living. That's kind of sad, actually. You won't stay there for long. I will say life always looks up. Your brain will eventually say, you got to start listening, and it will force change on you, and you will probably hate it for a while. But life always, always, always gets better. Anyways, follow me for more ramblings, because apparently I can't keep my thought lines in a straight line yet. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. Cheers and peeps. That was weird. I meant cheers, people. Cheers. Because I love cheers, because it's like, cheers, we're together and we're celebrating, we're having fun, and we're having a great time. Here's my coffee. Cheers. Adios.